Welcome to all. I hope all of you are well and safe. Today I would like to discuss our chapter 6. The topics for today are stoichiometry, limiting reactant, and a math from limiting reactant. Both of these two are very important in this chapter, so be attentive. First, stoichiometry. Stoichiometry. The branch of chemistry in which the amount of reactant can be measured from the amount of product. Similarly, the amount of products can be measured from the amount of reactant. This measurement is discussed in the branch of chemistry which is known as stoichiometry. So, the branch of chemistry that deals with the measurement of reactants from the amount of product and the measurement of the amount of product from the measurement of the amount of reactant. This is stoichiometry. For example, magnesium reacts with oxygen and produce MgO. So we have to balance this reaction first. It is very necessary. So to balance this equation, you have to multiply by 2 and this is also by 2. So from this equation we can see 2 mole gram later 10 to the power 23. Similarly, 1 mole 32 gram 22.4 liter 02 into 10 to the power 23 number of magnesium atom and number of oxygen molecule. Number of oxygen molecule, and for this magnesium oxide 2 mole 2 multiplied by magnesium 24 16, that means 40 gram to 22.4 liter to Avogadro number of MgO molecule. So these are the topics, or these are terms of reactant and product. Already I have discussed it in the topics of mole. So all these terms are related with each other. So if a problem is here, how mass MgO will be how much how much how much mg how much mg is required for 5 gram oxygen to produce MgO. This is a simple math from these topics. So here we have to calculate the amount of MgO from the amount of oxygen. So this is gram and the amount of magnesium will be gram. So we have to write reaction MgO2. So 224 gram and 32 gram. From the reaction we can see 32 gram oxygen needs 2 into 24 gram MgO to produce MgO. So 1 gram and for 5 gram 224 into 5 32. This amount will be the required amount of Mg magnesium. So this topics is very important in chemistry. So next another problem is how many ammonia will be ammonia, because we write Mg plus oxygen. How many MgO will be produced from 2 gram Mg that reacts with necessary amount of oxygen. So from the reaction Mg 2 Mg oxygen 2 MgO, this is 240 gram and this is 224 gram. So 2 into 24 gram magnesium reacts with necessary amount of oxygen to produce 240 gram, and from 2 gram to 24 gram. This amount will be the amount of MgO for 2 gram Mg. Next term, limiting reactant. Limiting reactant. Suppose A and B reacts with each other and produce C and D, or AB, whatever. This A and B both are reactant. If any reactant from these two finished itself first, then it will be a limiting reactant. The reactant which is finished first is known as limiting reactant. If A finished itself first, so A reactant will be the limiting reactant. If B reactant finished itself first, then B will be the limiting reactant. So the reactant that finished itself first is called limiting reactant. And it is very important, a reaction depends on limiting reactant. How much product will be produced, that depends on limiting reactant. The solution, will the solution be neutralized? If the reaction is a neutralization reaction, so will the solution be completely neutralized, or what will be the nature of the mixed solution also depend on limiting reactant. And why don't we get desired amount of product, that also depend on limiting reactant. So limiting reactant is very important for a chemical reaction. And how much time reaction will be continued, for how much time, that also depend on limiting reactant. So limiting reactants is very important term. Now the problem is 8 gram MgO and 11 gram carbon dioxide are taken to produce 21 gram magnesium carbonate, but expected product is not obtained. Explain the cause of not getting the expected product. So already I have discussed the importance of limiting reactants or function of limiting reactants. Desired product also depend on limiting reactant. So to solve this problem, we have to find out the limiting reactant first. A reaction is MgO and carbon dioxide. This will be from MgCO3. Balance. So It is balanced reaction. (40 gram MgO, 44 gram CO). So 40 gram MgO reacts with 44 gram CO2 to produce MgO, and the given amount of MgO is 8 gram. So for 8 gram MgO, 44, this will be 44, 8 divided 40, this will be 8.8 gram CO2, 8.81 CO2. So this amount of CO2 is used for given amount of MgO. So given amount of MgO, the used amount of CO2 is 8.8 gram of CO2, where the given data is 11 gram. So this reactant finished itself fast, so it is a limiting reactant. If limiting reactant is present in a chemical reaction, then expected product will not be produced, because the limiting reactant finished itself fast. That is why the expected product will not be produced. So due to the presence of limiting reactant, which is MgO, the expected product, that means MgCO3 magnesium carbonate, will not be produced in this condition, and that is the solution of the given problem. They explain the causes of not getting the expected product due to the presence of limiting reactant, and limiting reactant is this MgO. I hope all of you have understood this. So be serious about these topics, because these topics, stoichiometry and limiting reactant, are very much important for this chapter. So be serious your study and be safe. Thank you very much.